What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the show that is everything and anything Corvette, and of course, every Monday night. So we are here as usual, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about everybody's beloved favorite car, and that is the Corvette, of course. We're going to be talking about a lot of Corvette stuff tonight, of course. It's Corvette Weekly. What else would we talk about? But seriously, we can really talk about anything, but the majority of our conversations are held around Corvettes. So happy to see a bunch of the same names over here, guys. I see a lot of green names. I really like that. I am going to take a second here to talk a little bit about the channel membership, because if you guys haven't joined the channel membership, it is something that you should check out. There's going to be special perks. Usually I offer at least one time a month free entries for members, just because free entries into giveaways for the members, just because you guys are joining the team, so to speak. And the membership starts at $4.99 a month, and the one entry you get for free is actually worth about $10. So it's actually cheaper to be a member, get that free entry, than to throw $10 every month at least one entry. So kind of a value there. Plus you'll get some behind the scenes kind of things going on. Plus I'm still working on some other things that we're going to probably throw in the mix, but for now, you should definitely check it out. If you go to the main page of Horsepower Obsessed, you can actually see right there, there'll be a button that says join, and that will allow you to join as a member, and I will be notified that you did so. So I'd really appreciate it if you did. Even, I see DBM Racing in the comments there. Even his name's green. He's, I think he was the 6th person, if I remember right, to join the memberships.
Bro, who knows, man? It feels so long ago now.
Yeah. Well, it's really literally been over a year, which blows my freaking mind that I've had it for that long. Because it feels like it was yesterday.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't even. I'm like, when did that even start? I can't remember.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, lots of green names. Love them too.
Yep. So anyway, guys, we are gonna kick this thing off the way that we normally do, and that's gonna be with this guy, Joler. He is back in the house. He's going to tell us a little bit about some new cars we have for sale. Take it away.
Alrighty. Thank you, Justin. Hello, David. Hello, everybody. Happy pre-Thanksgiving on Thursday. With no further ado, we've got two really, really beautiful builds that have come across for sale. We did sell the C5, by the way, so that is now gone, and some of the other Corvettes as well. So two fresh ones that no one has seen yet on the site. The first one is a 2024 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 Z07 package, convertible 3LZ in a beautiful red mist. Has black interior. The 3LZ, as I mentioned, only 4,907 miles. Original sticker, 162K. And it's yours for $131,900. When you think about the savings and then add on the price increases that we've seen over the last 2 years, both for the base Z06 as well as the loaded features of this particular car, you're probably closer to 38 to almost 40K off sticker for a car with just 4,900 miles. And what I think is a beautiful combo with the black wheels and red mist in the sun is definitely a beauty. And don't forget that gorgeous high wing on the back.
Yep. Z07 package.
Z07 package. Yep. The second one is a Silver Flare 2023, also Z06 convertible 3LZ. Has a really cool interior that I think looks really nice with the Silver Flare. And that's a natural and black interior. Black wheels, red Brembos, even a little less miles at 3,478. Price for that is $127,900. And again, if you go to sticker price of a build like that today, you're definitely doing quite well. So you've got to pick them this week. You've got a Silver Flare, you've got a red mist, you've got 2 3LZs and 2 convertibles. So treat yourself to a nice Thanksgiving or holiday gift, or maybe somebody you know might be interested. If so, give us a shout. And if you by chance are looking to sell a Corvette or know somebody that is, hit us up on the site. You know the URL, and we look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. Have a good show, guys.
You too.
Thanks,
All
Joe.
right. Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, Joe. See ya. All right, guys. So like Joe was showing there, a Z07 package car with basically no miles, competition seats,
Right.
front end lift. I mean, literally the car that most people want for well over $30,000 less than what MSRP was, with only 4,000 miles on it. So definitely really cool cars to pick from. And
Right.
yeah, the silver flare car actually has the carbon fiber wheels on it too. So if you guys are
Yeah.
interested, of course, you can go to the horsepowerobsessed.com website, go to the Vet Exchange right up at the top, and you can send us an email. You can shoot me an email, text if you have my number, all that stuff. However you want to get a hold of me, we'll hook you up with either one of these two cars.
And those are such low miles, dude. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it nuts? Yeah.
It's nuts. You're basically getting a new car with a huge discount
Yeah.
on it. It's awesome.
Mr. T says that same thing. These are steals of deals in the 26 car market. Absolutely.
Mr. T, what's up, bro?
But yeah, so guys, we got a lot to talk about tonight because you can buy these Z06s from my website, which really you're not buying them from me. So we're just hooking you up with the buyer and the seller,
Right.
kind of making it happen for both parties. And so far we've been pretty successful at making sure both parties are satisfied. The buyer pays less than what he would pay from a dealership, and the seller gets more than what he would get from a dealership, just trading it in or even selling it outright to said dealership. So usually the numbers add up in a way that everybody walks away happy. So you should definitely check it out if you're in the market for a used car. Now, while we're talking about Joler, or Joe from Solar Performance, we're going to mention the giveaway for tonight, which of course is going to be a throttle controller for any one of the cars on the website that is offered. So it doesn't have to be Corvette. If they offer it for your car, the throttle controller, it can be won tonight. Every $10 is going to be an entry. Every $50 or more is going to be double entries. And at the very end, before I run the wheel, you're going to have to be in here to do it, but members will get their free entry. So
Nice.
if you're looking to win a throttle controller, let's start it up. $10 is an entry, $50 is double entries. And by the end of the night, I'm going to give you the code word to put in to get your free entry if you are indeed a member. If you're not a member yet, like I said, go to the horsepowerobsessed.com. I'm sorry, go to YouTube and go to the Horsepower Obsessed main page, and you can hit join right from there. I will be alerted right here on the screen as soon as you do so. You'll get your free entry after doing that. But we're going to be talking a lot about Corvettes tonight. Actually, before we do, I guess we might as well mention, let's smash the thumbs ups too, guys. Looks like we got 100 people in here watching. We got 41 thumbs ups. Let's get to 100 by 8 o'clock. So we got 19 minutes to do that. So just smash that thumbs up. And while you're smashing the thumbs up, I'm going to let this guy on the screen talk to you a little bit about what's new with his channel, what's coming up, what's that big new thing that everybody wants to know about.
No, I don't know. Maybe or maybe not. I just picked up a full build C8 Z06 from LMR this week, and but I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I had no clue. I thought I knew how much better and how much faster, how much dude, no clue. I wasn't even prepared for it. But so, guys, I had my C6 Centennial sent out to LMR. I went this past week, actually, last week to Houston to pick it up. Got to meet everybody there, and Steven, the owner, did the drive along. Like we got out there. He drove me around, showed me what the car was capable of. It's a little bit different build than a lot of guys. Like we pushed it higher in the RPM range, so it really doesn't even come on to like 4,500, which is absolutely insane. But it made stupid power. It made 626 at the tire and over 500 foot-pound of torque, and it pulls to almost 8,000. So on a C6 Z06, so the red line red is the 7 is the red line. Then there's another 500 of red, and then it stops. They told me wait until the tach stops moving and then shift. That's what they told me. So, and it does. It'll do every bit of 8,000. It's the craziest thing ever. I did my shop tour last week. The video with the ride along of the delivery is this week, should be coming out. And then some dynos. And on the dyno and a built LS7 at 8,000 RPM, guys. I know my LT6 sounds good, but holy crap, that LS7 at 8,000 RPMs is just crazy. So it's been a heck of a ride, man. And it was a buzz of a week. Like I didn't even know until Monday. I knew it was going to be that week. I didn't even know until Monday what day of the week I had to pick it up. So thank God I have a buddy that lives in Katy, Texas, which is like right there basically outside of Houston. So I was like, hey man, I'm gonna need a couple of nights. I don't know which ones it's gonna be yet, but and he was really cool with it. But you guys gotta check some of the stuff that's coming out, like just the sounds of this thing, the perform. I got some 60 to 130 stuff coming once the clutch is broken in. And then going Steven, who has the ZR1, which I also want to talk about that here in a second, Justin. He and I are going to be doing a track rental. And you guys just, this is going to be a heck of a ride, guys. I'm going to race some Z06s and I'm going to hurt some feelings. I'm going to tell you guys that unless you've got like some good mods on your C8 Z06, you better be on it, because I'm going to get you. But did you see Steven's post, Justin?
Yeah, about the quarter mile time.
The new record, yeah, 924.
Yep.
With the Venturi prototype on it. Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
So we'll talk about that in a second. But Mike, he's asking, Justin, are you getting a ZR1 or a ZR1X? This is a great question. Comes up all the time. And if so, you're keeping the C7 ZR1, right? But what about the C8 Z06? So where I'm at with this, guys, just so we're all on the same page, I am 100% getting a ZR1, not a ZR1X. I'm not a big fan of the hybrid stuff. I think the ZR1 is actually the faster car out of the two. That will be proven later in time, I'm sure. Not a fan of the hybrid stuff because of, the extra weight on the front end, plus failures of blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I don't need to get into all of it, but ultimately the ZR1 is the car for me. I am most likely going to keep the C8 Z06 as well, with the C7 ZR1 and then the C8 ZR1 as well.
Yes.
This whole thing has been, like I said, when I sold my previous 23 C8 Z06, it put me in a really good financial position. Good enough that I might be able to keep both cars, and that's a pretty good position to be in. So we're going to be actually talking about the ZR1X tonight, though, because as much as I'm not really interested in the ZR1X, it is kind of interesting what's going on with the ZR1X. So we'll talk about that in a second here. But let me see. Yeah, Ricky says.
Yeah, and I'm with you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man. I was just gonna say I'm with you, man. Like after experiencing the ZR1 and now seeing with a tire and an Venturi and Lord knows what else is coming, I mean, is the X the I think I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
Like I really think it's gonna be just enough. And I don't know how you're not happy with. I mean, you think that's 9.2 with just an Venturi. Let's put a little bit more stuff on it and take a little bit more weight out. And now you're in the 8s. And actually, Steven got kicked out. And it's an NHRA track. They're like, he went back up. So he dropped the 9.24 pass at like it was fast, like 155 or something like that. And he pulled back around later after he let the car cool. The guy was like, no. He's like, they're telling me that you can't be out here without a parachute.
It's funny too, because initially when they first launched the ZR1 and said what the power and what the quarter mile time and stuff was going to be, I'm like, the quarter mile time is under what most tracks will throw you out for if you don't have a cage in the car. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, well, this car's freaking stock. Like, how do you get around that?
Well, the only reason you get around it on some of the stuff is because there's different rules for factory cars, right? For some of these like speed and ET times, right? There's different, but because Steven tried to argue that. Steven's like, it's a factory car, man. Like all I've done is put a cold air and like there's no tune, there's no factory car. And Steven's like, and my car can stop from 150 in like 70 feet or something like just insane brakes on it, Yep. So there are some like that's how the demons get away with it, that they don't get kicked out when they're running like high 8s and stuff like that. But they said it was more than mile an hour that they busted Steven on.
Well,
yeah, they were like,
even that's a stock thing. Yep. But the other part of the other side of that is that you have to make sure that the track you're at knows that. Because if they don't know that, they're going to be like, "Whoa, you're under 10 without a cage, you're out."
Exactly. And I think most NHRA tracks 9.5 is the parachute cutoff as well. So again, he was under that.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 times he was there. Yep. So, but they told him the other day his mile an hour was too high, so he can't. Because I was at LMR doing my delivery when Steven was like, "Hey, I'm going to the track. Are you in town?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "But please keep me informed." So I was driving back after picking up my car. So he would call me after every run. So he called me the first one, told me what he ran. I was like, holy cow. And that was on a street tire. He didn't have the drag radio on when he ran 9.2, 9.24.
Yeah, that's wild.
With the street tire. He called me back the second, was like, I just got kicked out for not having a parachute.
That by itself, like normally that'd be upsetting, but that's like a a badge of honor
It's a
with
badge
that.
of
Yeah.
honor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
All
then he
right.
asked the guy, well, does it matter when I rent the track? And the guy was like, you can do whatever you want when you rent it. Steve was like, okay. So then he called me back and was like, hey, are we doing a track for now? I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Ricky says he saw 4 ZR1s today at McMulkin, and that wing is stupidly impressive, right?
Oh,
Every
shoot.
time I see that thing, I'm
Shoot.
like, my God, like it's almost the same size as the car. Like you got a car-sized wing strapped to the back of your car. Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
exactly.
KP
Yeah.
says, horsepower obsessed. Are you paying MSRP for the Z? Yes, my ZR1 will be MSRP. I'm not a over MSRP kind of guy, just like I'm not really a hybrid kind of guy. Mark's in the house. He says, so are we trading, Justin? Do you want 2 Justin Grays? Mark, any day that you want to lend me that car, I will gladly accept. I would love to have, I mean, the picture's already in my head. David's already talked about this too. I'm going to have a C8
Yep.
ZR1 sitting beside a C7 ZR1 in basically the same spec, but
Yeah.
I'm keeping my C8 Z06 as well. So why not have Mark's C8 ZR1 that's the same spec as my C8 Z06 side by side as well? Why not? Let's do it, Mark.
Why not? Yeah. Again, it's going to be so cool, dude. I can't wait to see that in the garage. Like, and again, I don't have the C701. Again, we all know that it's just one of the Halo cars that will always stay a Halo car for
Yeah.
GM, always. But even just having the 2012 and the C8 Z06 both in the carbon flash sitting next to each other is super cool.
Yeah.
So when you've got 2 ZR1s, 2 sitting in your garage that are
Kings.
the same spec,
Yep.
that's ultimate flex, bro.
24
flex.
3LZ Riptide. I don't think I can say it better. So this is it. When someone asks me from now on, I'm copying and pasting this response. Hey, Justin, are you getting a ZR1? And how come not the ZR1X? 24 3LZ Riptide says the ZR1X is the new E-Ray, and you see how that's going.
That's well put. That's well put.
Oh man, that's a burn.
hilarious.
Let's see.
Joe Lamb, yeah. So my excitement, obviously, in the first bit, but when you see the ride along footage, not only am I like excited as hell, but Steven, the owner of LMR, literally is like, "Hey, let's do that again." I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do that again." And we went up and down that road like 10 times because he was enjoying it as much as I was. It's gonna be awesome to watch. You guys got to see it.
New Horizons in the house. What's up, Carlos? How you doing, man? He says the
Hey,
ZR1
Carlos.
wing is no joke. And the thing is like
Truth.
nobody,
Truth.
I don't think there is an aftermarket wing yet for an aftermarket ZR1 wing that actually is the same size as the factory ZR1 wing. And I think I know why. It's because it's too freaking big. Like it's because if you strap that onto a regular car, you're probably going to have a problem with it. So,
well, and I didn't know until I saw your Z06 and Steven's ZR1 together at Carlisle, and I was like, "Good Lord!" And it's not that much, but when you see it on the car, it looks massive.
I don't know. It's literally the RCS wing that I have is literally an inch difference in, and that's not even just like in height. The height's the same, the width is the same, the girth of the wing is 1 inch less, and the end plates are slightly smaller. That's it. And yet somehow that wing on the ZR1, the actual ZR1 stock wing, is just ridiculous.
Well, and honestly, though, I mean, like, even though it's a little bit smaller, the RSC wing is still over the top, but the ZTK ZR1 must be over the top. Must be.
100%.
Must be. Anything smaller
Yep.
won't work. It was over the top on the C7. That's what everybody loved about it. It's over the top on the C8 Z01. Must be. Hands down, has to be. And it works. In both versions, it works. But you're right. The factory one
100%.
is huge.
All right, Jay Brazelton, I got your $50 donation. We got it for Charles as well. Guys, again, the giveaway tonight is the Solar Performance throttle controller for any car that they make it for. If you have a Ford Mustang and they have it on the site, you can win it for that. It's a $10 donation. Every $10 is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. And at the end, if you're still in here and you are a member of the channel, I'm going to give you a special word to say, and that's going to get you a free entry into this giveaway. Raymond Humphrey says ZR1 over the XIMO. I feel like that is the general consensus. I would say probably 8 out of 10 times the person saying they want the ZR1, which I'll be honest, I'm not surprised about, but I'm kind of disappointed about, because I figured if the ZR1X came out and a bunch of people jumped ship from the ZR1, I'd be able to get mine sooner. Like that was the only
Right.
reason I thought that might be a kind of a good thing. But
Yep.
that's a good question, actually. KP, is the ZR1 wing adjustable OEM? I know mine is from RSC. I can adjust it, but I actually don't know if the OEM one is. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. I think it's fixed.
I think it's fixed. Yeah.
I think it just bolts on and off, because I've helped Steven with his. I think it just bolts on and off. I didn't see any way to adjust it at all. So, but yeah, I'm with you though. I was hoping, like, the folks that really want, they're going to go ZR1X, and we'll end up getting moved up the allocation list quickly. Although, like I said, if they keep cranking them out like we're talking about,
Yeah.
that list would be quicker than I.
Yeah, the last Monday night we were at over 600 produced already. I would imagine we're probably
Right.
close to 700 now. And as long as they keep kicking them out like that, I mean, I've been told that it will be by spring I will have mine at MSRP, and odds are good I'll have mine at MSRP by spring, because by spring they're going to be selling at MSRP. That's like,
Right.
it's not. I'm not like some famous person that they're going to give me the car at MSRP when they won't anybody else. I'll get it at MSRP as soon as the same time you guys could. So, yeah, odds are going to be around early spring.
Yep.
We did just get another
and then when
entry
people
here.
start getting, like, even just basic bolt-on mods, right? Because it's got basically the same wideband closed loop that the Z06 has, so
Right.
air boxes, exhaust systems. You're gonna pick up crazy horsepower. Now, I know Mr. T said about Street Speed's dyno of 100 horsepower. Guys, I just want you to know, Street Speed's a great dude, but the dyno they use at Fast Speed is really pleasant. It's very happy. It's very
yeah.
generous.
So,
But
and not
you
just
are gonna
that,
pick up crazy power on these things when you start bolting stuff on. It's gonna be nuts.
it's not even just that. It's not. He didn't pick up 100 at the peak. It was through the power band. So similar to the way the Z06 does. If you mod it out the way that I have, you're roughly 70 to 80 horsepower up throughout the power band, but then at the end it settles to like 20 peak.
Right.
So,
well, and again, it's the same closed loop system. So
Right.
I mean, you're not going to need to quote tune it yet, but you put cold air exhaust, you put all this throttle bodies, all this stuff on it. I really think this thing's going to pick up stupid power without even having to touch the ECU. I really, really do.
So Z4 Life, if you're still in here, he said Stonebriar Chevrolet has another one. Hopefully they didn't screw over another buyer. Mark might have the answer to that if he's still in here.
It's they're forever going to be associated with that through Mark.
And you know what? They did it to themselves.
They deserve it.
100%.
They deserve it. Yeah, you're right.
Because to the very end, to the very absolute end of him fighting to get that car, they did not back down. They stuck to it and tried to screw him over as hard as they could to the very end.
And I'm hoping your timeline works out for spring, and I'm hoping a bash delivery would be in the works.
At this point, that would be exactly what I'm aiming for.
That would be sick.
So,
oh my god,
Jim Middleton says the ZR1X is getting a little heavy. It is, and honestly, even the regular ZR1, even the Z06, they're all a little heavier than I'd like. But the ZR1X is really starting to push it. We are very, 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 very close to a 4,000-pound Corvette, and that literally blows my mind. There is not a metal body panel on this car. How are we at 4,000 pounds on this thing? And yeah, it's just it's a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want it. Because I mean, the E-Ray initially, when I first stepped foot into an E-Ray and hit the gas, I could immediately feel the extra weight on the front end of that car. Right? Immediately.
Oh yeah.
And
I've had them both on track too. Like I've rented the E-Rays for the track too, and you can definitely feel it push. Yeah, definitely 100%.
I mean, again, the E-Ray is a cool car, but it's for me, the idea of what it's built for is a Grand Touring car, and for that, I doubt you can get a better car for a Grand Touring car than the E-Ray.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're buying it, trying to use it for even a track use here and there, ripping around town, the Z06 is the better car for that. It's that simple.
Well, and the E-Ray makes a great deer killer. C8 Nate proved that. If you guys haven't seen that, he has it on his PDR where he just blasts that deer.
My God.
It's hilarious.
Deer killer. I love it. Yeah, guys, smash the thumbs ups. Looks like we are at 71. We got a couple more minutes here. Let's get to 100. Smash that thumbs up. Get entered in for the Solar Performance Throttle Controller giveaway. Steve, Risha, I got you entered in. So we got 3 entries as of now, guys. So get in on this. This is the last giveaway from Solar for the month of November. Coming in December, we have a really interesting kind of turn of events maybe happening. So
we do.
Of course,
we do.
I would always recommend to tune in, but December is going to be interesting. So
I agree.
But smash the thumbs up, as this DBM Racing guy says. And yeah, Kevin Horan says, party with Justin at the bash. If I get that car if it gets delivered to me at the bash, I mean, it is going to be massive. David's bringing the champagne. I'm going to be standing. I'm going to be standing up on a soapbox, just like NASCAR. We're going to be spraying it all over the place. Like, yeah, we're doing it.
I'll bring my Pirelli one hat I got in Boston at the GP. Make you wear it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, it's gonna. And we'll have to work out some way where we can get the 500 miles on it before you get it. So that way you just take it, just destroy it, just hammer it on the way home.
I don't know, man. I mean, I would drive it home to get the mileage, but I'd hit over 500 by the time I got home. But I don't know how.
Would you hit over?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be. See, when I got mine home, I literally was like 440.
That sucks. That sucks.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
You guys need something? I'll run to the store real quick.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll go to the store down in North Carolina. I'll be right back.
Exactly.
Mr. T says, are these cars 1,300 horsepower cars with bolt-ons? I bet you at least
every bit of it.
At least 1,300, because
I would honestly predict full bolt-ons
and tune
more than that, because it's the turbos. I think 13 at the tire.
Yeah,
because Stevens did what, 10 something, over 1,000 bone stock.
If the day comes, we can tune
really
it.
Close.
If the day comes, we can tune it. We're probably 15 to 18.
I was going to say, I think it'll do 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If you can tune it, because it's already a built motor. It's already got built rods. Dude,
it's like,
oh my God.
It's built to the freaking gills. I mean.
Yeah, if you can ever, even I know, you guys mark my words, even unquote untuned with the ECU the way it is with the closed loop, I bet full bolt-ons, you're going to be pushing 1,300 at the tire without any tune. Guarantee you. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, I mean, the downpipes or catalysts, cat delete kind of things are already pushing close to 100.
Exactly.
Be ready for the inventory to push another at least 50. Throttle bodies are going to throw something at it.
I can't say what they're predicting because I was talking with Steven and Paragon about it, but I'll tell you, between that, the throttle bodies, cold air, I mean, you're going to be really close to that number anyway.
So
just with those 3 things that everybody does.
And again, I think we talked about this in the last live, and I think it was the last one, where we were mentioning that the ZR1 likely is faster around the Nürburgring than the ZR1X, but GM kind of wanted to make it look a certain way. So they put the 2026 ZR1X on the ring, which gives it the extra PTM Pro and bigger brakes, while the ZR1 got the 2025 treatment, smaller brake calipers and no PTM Pro. So those 2 things, I guarantee you, are worth at least 1.5 seconds on that Nürburgring. That would have put it at balloons, and it would have been faster. So add in the stuff that David's talking about, inventory, cat deletes, throttle bodies.
Look what it does on our cars. Look what
exactly.
it does on our cars.
Exactly. It's literally night and day on our cars.
And add that plus boost. It's crazy. Yeah. Justin, I want to say something real quick. Welcome Mod to Fame. Welcome, buddy. He's in the chat here. I don't know if you guys know him.
What?
Pretty big deal in the Mopar world. He's got some nasty Mopars.
There he is. Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. What's up, man?
He's got 1,400 horsepower, twin turbo Hellcat. But Justin, you know what he just picked up? A green Z06. So welcome Mod to Fame to the Corvette community.
Welcome to the community, dude. Yeah.
When we've been communicating, brother. If you need anything, if you got any questions about mods, between me and Justin, but I've pretty much done it all and I've dynoed it all. So you let me know, man. And I can't wait to hit you up on some Challenger stuff on my challenge. But welcome, man. Welcome.
That's
I
really
hope
cool.
You're loving your car because it's a 6-spec. It really is.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, no, we've been communicating after he bought it. I saw when he bought it, and I'm like, hey, welcome to the club, bro. It's going to change the way you think about this. And we've been communicating back and forth, but I saw him in the in the comments today. But welcome, buddy, man. I hope you're loving your car because it looks nasty. It looks really good.
So Robert McCready says, didn't the ZR1X set the record for an American car at the Nürburgring? Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on that, though. I feel like, I mean, you got to look at it from Chevy's point of view. They're not going to bring out the ZR1X, which is like this thing that's even better than a ZR1, and then have it lose to the ZR1 at the ring. Odds are very good that motor died at some point throughout that ring trip. And if it did, it's throwing around a couple hundred extra pounds in the front end for no real good reason. Plus, they used a 2026 versus a 25. It makes sense that the ZR1 is the faster car out of the two, to be honest with you, on a track. Now, if you're talking about launching it strictly, you're probably going to be faster than the ZR1X because of the extra grip in the front and all that.
Yeah, and actually, Modifane just brought up, I want to say, he said that his buddy took a ZR1 in negative DA to the track and it was overboosting.
Yeah.
Stevens was doing the same thing in first and second gear. When he would get it rolling, it would actually overboost. So that's something that I don't know if GM's going to have have an actual like fix for at some point. But there's some other folks that have been talking to Steven that Steven thinks they're pulling power out of the ones that are coming out now, because I don't remember who he was talking to, but they can't crack below 10s on the quarter with good air. And he thinks that GM may be pulling power out of the newer ones because it may not have been supposed to do 150s and low 9s in the quarter and dyno over 1,000 from the factory. So,
and guess why that would be, David? Take it.
I don't know.
They don't want it to be faster than the ZR1X. I'm telling you,
That's
GM has
exactly
always been crazy about this stuff. They've always made it where if the LT4 engine in the C8 Z06 creates 655 horsepower, the Camaro engine creates 650, and it's the same freaking engine. It's like they can't have any other cars dethroning the Corvette, the top of the line Corvette, for any reason out there. So the ZR1X is going to purposely be, sat atop of everything, even if it's really not.
Yep. No, and that's what Steven was saying when we were talking, because the person that bought this car, I'm not going to tell you who it was, but because they don't want their times out, but Steven was saying he was been talking very closely with them, and they're having trouble getting into the 10s, and it's probably just because they pulled power, and Montefiore, you did a 728 60 to 130 all stock, and that's a really good number because I think mine and Brandon, so they were like 7.9s stock, and we've gotten them down to like mid 6s with just mods, and then I think that 50 shot put us like 6.1 6.17, something like that, but that's a good healthy number if it's all stock, bro. But I see that minus 1200 DA is cheap.
Riley Roofer says you're talking a lot of smack in the ZR1, aka King of the Streets. I'm actually not. I'm talking a lot of smack in the ZR1X. But the ZR1 is, I'm going with the ZR1. Let's throw some mods on that thing and just blast it into freaking, I don't know, stardom, because it's going to be the faster car out of the two. I mark my words. I know it sounds crazy because there's way more horsepower in the ZR1X, but trust me when I say the ZR1 is the faster car. I know it.
Yep.
And it's the better buy.
Stevens was so early before they started getting into like maybe detune them a little bit from the factory, but I mean, what more can you really ask for if you're getting low 9s with just very minimal bolt-ons? And he did that 924 on a street tire. He put the drag radius on to go back, and that's when they told him he couldn't run. That was on a street tire. That was on his Michelin Pilot Sports. He ran a 924. Crazy. What more do you want?
Wait, was that Cup 2Rs or Sport 4S's?
No, his was the full on. So it was still the Cup 2Rs, but they're not drag radials, bro. Like they're not. Yeah. But yeah, and again, everything that's going to be coming out, I'm telling you guys, as good as the Z06's computers are about closed loop, like when we would dyno it, the air fuel lambda should be 0.86, and it stayed at 0.86 all the way through to watt. And we'd have ported intake manifold, ported throttle bodies, cold air intake, long tubes, sport cats or cat deletes, and exhaust, and it still takes all that air and compensates fuel. We even splashed a little E85 in the tank. So you do all of that stuff with a little bit of E85, and it's the same closed loop as the Z06 and ZR1, bro.
Yep. So Red C8 Z06, this is a controversial topic here, but I totally agree. He says, I still believe the Z06 is the better buy than the ZR1. Every single generation, and you guys can rewind to one of the first videos I ever created on this channel where I talk about the Z06 always being the best bang for the buck. It doesn't matter what generation you're talking about. the best bang for the buck is always the Z06 because it's always the cheaper one with the wide body, with all the track stuff. It's a fast car, but not as fast as the ZR1, but significantly cheaper than the ZR1. Every generation, the Z06 is the best bang for the buck. So I don't disagree. And this is one of the reasons why I want to keep my C8 Z06 and get the C8 ZR1, because they are two fairly different cars, and the way that they produce power and the way that they sound and the way they do everything is fairly different. The Z06 is more of your, for a lack of a better term, stripped race car, track car, whereas the ZR1 is going to be good on the track, but it's not specifically track focused like the Z06 is. It's got extra weight in it. It's got a ridiculous amount of power that you're not going to be able to even use at a lot of tracks because of how much power it is, stuff like that.
There you go. That was where I was going with this. And at listening to you, I agree with both of you. And the reason I'm going to say is, do I want a ZR1? Absolutely. Am I going to enjoy it? Absolutely.
Right.
But when you drive the Z06 just around town, not even hammering on it, but just spirited driving and not crazy, the Z06 is a better experience.
Yeah.
It is tauter. It is a little bit more tight. It feels like more racetracky. Now, again, you get into the boost, that speed comes on and it's addictive.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely the most addictive thing you're ever going to get into. But on a usable power level, on anybody who's driving on the streets, the Z06 gives you everything you want and then some. Whereas the ZR1's going to give you a lot of stuff that you'll never even use. Most of us are not going to even go to a track and run a 9.2 at 155. Let's be real. Most of us aren't even going to do that. Much less take it to the Nürburgring and set a lap record. Whereas you can really, really enjoy the Z06, and it's still going to be way more car than any of us can perform on a track.
I've said forever,
it's the daily experience that is so much better with the Z06. The ZR1 feels like it's just loafing along, grandma's car, and then all of a sudden, bang.
All of a sudden, you're at 233 miles an hour, and you're like, how did I get here?
I don't know about 233, but I was about 160.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Dude, you put your foot into the gas on that thing for a second, and you're going way faster than you think you should be. But I've said for a while now,
when I had Stevens, and I did a 60 to 130 in like the mid fours, just goofy. I wasn't even trying.
I said for a while now that the if I can't get a ZR1 for some reason, I'm not going to cry myself to sleep with my Z06. Like, I'm more than fine with the Z06. If for some reason I never am able to get a ZR1, I would not be that upset about it. But I do want one, and I most likely will have one in early spring. So,
well, and bang for your buck, it's impossible to beat with the price, even new pricing with the Z06 right now. Bang for your buck, it's impossible to beat that. And now some of these used prices, some of the ones you guys have put on Vet Exchange,
it's like 30 grand under MSRP with 4,000 miles on it. And like that's a Z07 package car loaded with front end lift with competition seats. Wheels. Yeah. Like it's wild. Chili Pepper says horsepower obsessed. What will you spec price out at? What will your spec? Loaded up or budget build? I don't do budget builds, dude. I will load that thing up. The only thing my car will not have is carbon fiber wheels. For a multitude of reasons, but the biggest ones being they're overpriced, and I can get cheaper ones that will look better and actually be lighter. So I'm going to do ZTK, front end lift, carbon fiber everywhere, because that carbon fiber on that car, I want it on the build sheet. All the carbon fiber will be right on the car itself. Red calipers, black exterior, two-tone black and red interior, competition seats, black exhaust tips. But yeah, I built it out. It was around 222 or something before taxes. So it'll be, it's 3LZ, of course. I don't do budget builds, but I won't get the wheels. I won't do the carbon fiber wheels.
Well, and honestly, if that's where you were and that's what you really wanted, that's fine. But the option to go with a Forged Light magnesium set and end up coming in lighter is, I mean, that's really hard, because the other thing with the carbon fiber wheels is you're going to run into offset issues like you do with the
and that's
the Z06, right?
That's the bigger thing for me, is that you get a wheel that fits this car and it looks phenomenal. I mean, and better in any way, shape, and form than the carbon fiber wheels. Carbon fiber wheels are great on the Z06. They look fantastic, but they're never going to be the correct offset. Even if you do bump them out with a spacer, it's still not going to have that concave look because the offset was not meant to be there.
I love Steven. He corrected me. It is PS4s, which is mind-blowing.
Wow.
And yeah, which is mind blowing. And he says you'll completely forget about your Z06 when you get a ZR1.
That's probably
Bro,
not.
I love you,
That's
man.
probably not false. Why am I not seeing his
But
name in
honestly,
here?
though, like it is so fast. Like the speed is so addictive. Like if you've ever driven a really really fast car, this car is, it'll blow your mind how fast it actually is. It really will. Like you just don't even realize, and before you know it, you're going 160, and it's just like that is crazy. But yeah, so PS4s was the
Oh, there it
924
is.
before he got thrown out.
And see, that's why I asked you, because I had a pretty good feeling that he did put PS4s on that car because he got aftermarket wheels, and usually that's the first thing you do. You get aftermarket wheels, you throw the Sport 4S's on there, and
Well,
yeah,
and his
with
wheels are like custom made. But the
yeah,
one to get the drag rated on, he had to have a custom wheel built because the ZR1 rear is a different, bolt pattern and different back spacing and all that
yeah,
stuff to get the drag rating on it. But yeah, PS4s to run a 924. It's
yeah.
just stupid. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's not even the best tire you can get. And the fact that he's doing that, not even on the Cup 2Rs, but not on like a drag radial. Like imagine if he throws a drag radial on it, you're probably cutting another 2/10 at least.
Well, that's the thing. Like he didn't get to run that night with the drag race, but also too, one of the things that we just go, and like he and I talked about it, but I was talking about with the LMR guys because they have a ZR1 now and they're kind of going through like the learning curve on it too. But the launch control only goes to 4,000. You can't bump it up any higher, and when you launch, like it, I don't want to say it bogs, but you can tell it wants more RPM.
Yeah.
If you could raise that RPM to like 5 or 5,500 even, I guarantee you there's another 2/10 in it just at that, and your 60 foot goes from 1.4 to probably 1.2 with a tire on it. But the fact that he ran it on street tires is like, that's a flex, man. That's the flex of the all flexes, is that I just dropped the 9.24 on street
I mean,
tires.
the Sport 4S tire that's a really good tire. It is a really good all around tire. Is it the best you can get for a drag strip? Absolutely not, but it is a really good all around tire. So
Well, and where he races, they do prep very nice. I think it's called the House of Hook is the nickname. It's at Aiken Dragway. But honestly, like when I was watching people walk out of their shoes the last time we were there, it was sticky enough. So it's a good prep. But with drag radials, man, he got another probably at least 0.15, if not 2/10 out of it. So, but it just blows my mind, man, that on street tires, like if you've ever drag raced and you realize what he just pulled off on street
yeah.
tires at a 924, like that'll blow your mind, man.
So Mod to Fame says, I'm such a speed addict, so I'm fawning over the ZR1. The Z06 is still a phenomenal car. If you just got the Z06, man, the more you drive it,
Mod
the
it.
more you love it. And yeah, mod it.
And
Literally throw some
mod
mods
it.
at that thing because
Yep.
even Venturi intake, sport cats, exhaust, and throttle bodies, it literally, it's a different car. And
Throttle control.
everything is better. And throttle
And
control.
the throttle controller.
And the throttle
100% do that right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm on the Fame order right now.
Yep.
But it's a different car, and you're going to pick up mega horsepower for just a bolt-on car. It's crazy.
So Fusion GT says, can you explain the full transmission flush is not included with the standard filter and fluid change for a C8 Z06? I think you're asking me why it's not included. I'm not sure why they wouldn't include that, but the very first one due at 7,500 miles is in fact just a transmission filter change and an oil change if you wait for both. An oil, oil filter and oil fluid change. The transmission fluid does not need to be changed until 3
Right.
years or 45,000 miles, whichever comes first. And even then, it is not a flush. It is just a drain and fill procedure, just like you would oil. Or are you asking why that procedure that the dealer does to change the filter, when they hook it up to the computer, they run it at 5,000 RPM for 10 minutes, why that's not included? I'm not sure exactly what you're
I
asking
don't
there,
know either,
Fusion.
yeah.
But if you want to clarify that, I'll gladly answer it for you. KD403, we're going to start a new one tonight, guys. So everybody thinks I hate the E-Ray. KD's now saying that I hate the ZR1X. I do not hate the ZR1X, guys. That is not what I'm saying here. I am simply saying that the ZR1 is going to be the better of the two cars. Mark my words, just like I said the same thing with the Z06 and the E-Ray in the early
Right.
days. The Z06 is the better car for the person looking for a track car experience. If you want a grand touring or GT kind of car, I already said in this video, there is no better car out there on the market that I can think of than the E-Ray for that. The same kind of
Right.
thing applies for the ZR1X. There's a significant price bump for something that I personally am not interested in. And I guarantee you, you're going to find that the ZR1X will be slower on most tracks versus a ZR1 because of the extra weight and because they purposely tested a
Right.
25 versus a 26 ZR1 ZR1X on the Nürburgring. So I absolutely do not hate this car. I do not hate it. I think it's phenomenal that GM is doing this. I mean, my channel name is literally Horsepower Obsessed, and they're jamming this amount of horsepower into a car. I think it's phenomenal.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, we didn't talk much afterwards. I know you're in the comments here, Steven, but how do you think, like, if you got the drag radios on that night, it'd have been at least another tenth? I mean, just kind of let us know, because I know you've done it with both the regular tires and those drag radios. So let us know, because I think there's at least another tenth in it.
I would be surprised if it's not 2-3
Yeah.
tenths, because I mean, if he's
Yeah.
doing that on the 4S tire, that thing is not gripping anywhere near what a drag radial would do.
Yeah, and the only downside, like I said, I mean, it kind of, those drag radios kind of float around at the top end, especially when you're going over 150. It's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
But like, once you kind of get used to it, it's
do you know? I guess I think you kind of answered this, but does he take off his wing?
Yeah, the wing's off.
Okay.
Yep. Well, and again, like, there's no real, I mean, it's both seats. There's no real weight reduction other than the exhaust kind of thing. Like, there's no real weight reduction. Like, it's a wing off the car, and it's pretty much it. So I think that's how LMR is going to run it, and some other people. So
Mark's saying here, Mark owns a C8 Z06 and a C8 Z01. He says, you truly cannot beat the Z06. I'll never get rid of mine. I love my ZR1 as it is a true rocket ship. But it's like, the Z06 is something special, and it will go down in history just like the C6 Z06 did. It will be that car that when people look back at the C8 generation, they're going to be like, yeah, man, that Z06, that thing was wild. Like, because you can get it for a good price, and it is a track car. Like,
right. Yeah. Well, and two, again, like, having been in both, like, and standing there when, they launch and everything else, like, there's a huge difference in the sound. There really is. Like, it still sounds flat playing crank, but like, there's a huge difference in the sound. But yeah, I mean, look at all the previous generations too. I mean, this, like, I want to see Z06, right? The LS7, I mean, not that the LS9 wasn't an insanely good motor, right? I mean, it responds to bolt-ons like crazy.
Yeah, it's like
everybody always drools over is the 427.
You want to give the credit where the credit's due, but that's not me taking away the credit from a ZR1X by any means. It's like, the ZR1 is going to be the better car, but that doesn't mean the ZR1X is garbage. I think they're both freaking awesome.
And I will tell you this much right now. The acceleration of the ZR1 doesn't make sense when you're sitting in the car and feeling it. It doesn't make sense. But the X is going to accelerate even faster. Like 0 to 150 and that X is going to be stupid. But I'm with you. I think I would really, the ZR1 is enough. The ZR1's all I want. The X is going to be, what am I going to use that extra power for? Am I going to go out and murder the Nürburgring? No. Am I going to drag race it? Yeah, but seeing the way Steven's ZR1 hooks, it just hooks. Like, if you guys haven't seen it, go look at his Instagram or whatever else. Like, it just hooks. What more? Do you need all-wheel drive and that extra weight and that extra couple hundred? If the car already hooks like crazy and runs low 9s and bolt-ons and good air, it's going to run 8s. I'm telling you right now, it's going to. So it's crazy.
Yeah. That's the thing, is it's like, I've been asked that question too. Like, you get a ZR1, it's got 1,000 horsepower. What do you really need to do to it? The answer is the same thing that you need to do to a Z06. You don't have to do anything. And like, the car is really good right out of the box. You don't have to do any of these things. But with the ZR1, I'm going to end up doing very similar mods that I've done to my Z06, because I'm a little obsessed with horsepower, we'll say. I don't know.
Well, and I tell you what, probably one of my favorite comments tonight, NBA Live, bro. He said GM should have done factory E85 option like the Demon 170 instead of the electronic stuff. That, if you had the ZR1, the option to hit a button and put it all on the E85 and go, oh my God. That's 15 right there. Like, crazy. So I love it. Yeah, Mark, same thing. Like, that was one of the things that when Steven first got his and we were talking, he's like, yeah, man, I was running out and I was breaking the tires loose at like 100 miles an hour. So it's terrifying.
S. Bowser says, look at the Ferrari 488 versus the Ferrari 456.
I think he meant 458.
I was going to say 458.
Yeah.
Perfect comparison to the Z06 and ZR1. It is. And if you poll 10 people who know of both of those cars, I bet you at least 8 of them prefer the 458 over the 488.
Yep. Well, and again too, like I rent right after doing Ron Fellows with the Z06 for several days. I rented a 488 at in Vegas, the twin turbo V8, and it's phenomenal car.
Yeah.
But to me, not even close to the experience the
Yeah.
Z06 was. And actually, the Z06 was fast. It had better brakes, and it was faster because it had carbon ceramics on the one I rented. But
And
better brakes, and it was a faster car.
I would venture to discuss that one of the bigger reasons why you feel that way is the sound. The 488, like the ZR1, is much more muted when compared to the 458 or the Z06. It's much more muted and not as visceral.
I'll say that I was just speaking on just the feeling of the and the brakes. There was definitely a difference. Now I don't know if these brakes were clapped out because it was a rental Ferrari and they had it on the track a lot. Yeah. It could have been, but the carbon ceramic brakes, dude, they'll pull the fillings out of your mouth when you slam on them. Like it's just like the craziest thing ever. That car stops every time. It's amazing.
Let's see where we're at here. So, how much Mountain Dew has David had tonight? He's got the shirt on. He's got the shirt on. In David's defense,
I'm still on a high from picking up my C6 Z06.
Yeah, I was going to say, in David's defense, I don't think I have ever seen him drink a Mountain Dew.
No, I don't think you have.
I'm going to get him on video next time. I'll be behind the camera with a gun. I'll be like, drink that Mountain Dew.
When I'm up there to do your car, we'll do that.
Yeah. He'll probably be like, "Oh, it's awful. It's so bad."
I'm still on a high from last week, guys. Like,
yeah.
This car is insane. Oh my god.
Raleigh Roofer says the X has a lot to prove. It's going to be tested on value and price drop. Is it going to be a losing market value car and price drop like the E-Ray? That scares me, to be honest. I personally do not think that the ZR1X is necessarily going to follow the same path that the E-Ray has. I don't think it will. I think the X is better marketed. But 10, 15 years from now, no one's going to be talking about the ZR1X. They're going to be talking about the ZR1. Just like 10, 15 years from now, no one's going to be talking about the E-Ray. They're going to be talking about the Z06. Because by that point, those hybrid powertrains are kind of clapped out. They're not working right anymore. And most people will most likely have them disconnected, try to strip them out of the car, or stuff like that, just to get it down to, basically being a ZR1. Now, that's my opinion on this stuff, guys. Of course, you know how I feel about it. I don't hate these cars. I almost take it personally when people say that I hate these things, because I don't. I think all these cars fit really well into the lineup here, but that does not mean that I have to love every single one of them. I am a purist with this stuff. I will much rather have a pure powertrain, even if it is forced induction, that's fine too, but I'm just not a hybrid guy. And just like I'm not really an electric car guy. Like my wife has an electric car. She has that Lyric. I love that thing. I drive it all the time. I think it's awesome. I don't want that to ever replace my fun car. I don't want to complicate things. But
yeah. Well, and Mark White just put in the comments, I've had Lambos, Ferraris, Porsches, but honest to God, if I had to have one car, I'll take my 25 Z06 all day long.
So I think I just deleted it. Let me see if I still have it. But I had so many examples of people who would send me messages on Instagram. Yeah, I must have deleted it. I knew I was going to delete it on one of these days. I actually needed it. Messages on Instagram where someone walked down to their garage and they took a picture of their garage. They have like 5 bays of cars. He's got a Lamborghini Huracan, Ferrari 458, Porsche GT3 RS, and there was something else, some other really high-end car. Then his Z06, C8 Z06 sitting there. And he said, I prefer the Z06 over all of these. And it's like, that kind of statement is freaking massive. It's like he's got $2-3 million worth of cars, and the cheapest one there is the one he prefers. Like that says everything you need to know about how good the C8 Z06 is. It really is a fantastic car.
Yeah. Well, it checks every box. Literally every box.
Especially when you throw some mods at it. It's even better.
Well, and that's again, like, I don't think people understand the before and after. And I know you've done it. I've done it too. Like, either let people drive or put them in my car, and the before and after, like night and day. Like when I was at the Bash, I raced a fellow that had a twin turbo Stingray, and we raced coming to the bash in the morning, and I walked him. He was like, I usually don't have problems with Z06s. That's not a stock car. I was like, no, it's not. It's a whole different animal. When you put these bolt-ons on it, you pick up legit power and right where you need it, and it's a whole different ball game.
Yep. Yeah, when I went from my black car then to a stock car, like I said, it was almost disappointing because I was so used to the power and the way that the car drove with the extra mods that when I got back into a stock one, I was like, wow, man, this is slow. It doesn't respond very well. But of course, if you never experienced that, you're going to be just absolutely happy with the Z06 right out of the box. Because like I said, it's a great car out of the box. But these extra mods really help it breathe. And you could tell the car likes it.
Yeah. Look, and not just the Z06, but like just speaking from a GM standpoint, read the comments. I like my Corvette ZR1 over my Bugatti Chiron Sport. That you should frame that and put that up on the wall, like a huge statement. Like you're talking what, $1.5 million?
I was going to say, I think there's let's see. I wanted to say over 2. Yeah, 3.3 million. 3.3 million. Do you know how many Z06s you could buy for 3.3 million? You buy a Z06 for every day in a month. Like, and it's a better car than a freaking Bugatti. This is coming from a guy who's driven both.
Who owns both.
Who owns both. Yeah, like.
Yeah, exactly.
And
crazy.
And I'll be honest with you, like Chopper Larry here says 458 Pista. I know Chopper Larry used to, maybe still does, I can't remember, worked on Ferraris.
Oh, yeah, he said his comment before that you didn't catch, he said, I worked on tons of 458s and 488s. He said my Z06 is a much better car.
Yeah. No, I knew that he did. But
yeah,
before I drove a Z06, before the Z06 was ever a thing, the only Ferrari I was ever really interested in is a 458. And I drove one. I liked it. I'll be honest. It's a nice driving car. But after years later, I bought and own obviously a C8 Z06 now. I haven't thought about a 458 again. And it's like, this is the American version of a 458. It's that simple. And honestly, better in almost every way. It's more displacement, better sound, better in-car entertainment, better, dare I say, quality. I mean, you guys, I don't know if you know about Ferrari and their sticky buttons and stuff. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing. Ferrari doesn't have the best quality.
Well, and there's a guy I work with. He's a surgeon. He is probably one of the biggest Ferrari dudes on the planet, and he doesn't buy 458s. This guy buys F12s. This guy buys all like the big dollar stuff. He was on the list to get a Z06 when they first came out and couldn't get on, couldn't buy his way onto one because he's not a GM guy. He's a Ferrari guy. And when he rode in my Z06 and then I let him drive it, he's like, man, because Ferrari went away from NA stuff a long time ago. Yep. He's like, man, this is the version of which Ferrari would bring something like this back.
Yep.
And this is a guy that owns $1-2 million Ferraris all the time. He's got 6 of them in his garage. But he said, I wish Ferrari would bring something like this back. He said, this car is phenomenal.
Yep. See you, Bill. Have a good holiday.
Later, Bill.
Again, 24 3LZ Riptides and to win it here with his comments. He says there is no replacement for displacement. And that's the big thing is with the Ferrari 458, they were at the time, at least, I don't know if this would have changed for them at all, but they were scared to go past that displacement with a flat plane crank, which is why I initially said the initial rumors of a Z06 being 5.5 liter flat plane crank. I was like, no way can GM do that and warranty that thing. Like,
yep. Well, the first people to do it that were kind of like, and it wasn't 5.5, was the Voodoo for Ford at 5.2. Everybody's like, holy cow, how'd you get a 5.2
and
to
those
not shake itself to death?
And those had a lot of problems. Like you really can't mod a GT350 with any kind of like faith that it's not going to vibrate itself apart.
Well, they had oiling issues on some of the earlier ones too on the track and stuff where they, the motors were eating themselves because they had it. But again, that was like a big concern. Holy cow, flat plane crank 5.5, because the NVH to dial that out of a flat plane crank is basically your cams are going like, or your camshaft is your crank is going like this.
Mark White,
to dial that out is hard.
Mark White says something that I've heard this a couple different ways. He says the Z06 brings me joy. My other mid-engine cars bring me worry. That is so true, man. It's really messed up when you buy a mid-engine car like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, any of these. Really, probably the only exception might be a Porsche, but the other supercars that you buy that are mid-engine, they come with their own list of absolute terrible things. I mean, and they are worries. Right. I mean, not even counting like cost of maintenance and stuff. But yeah, like Rally Roofer's reading my mind here. He said maintenance costs $3,500 to $6,000 on Ferrari. And Shopper Larry says, not to bring up the sticky button thing, they made him clean and paint that stuff for years. Like, I know, I've seen it. Like, it's literally exactly what it sounds like. The buttons on the interior literally are sticky. And it's like, this is a brand new car. I paid $500,000 for this thing. Why are these buttons sticky? I would be pretty upset. Oh, that's another thing.
Well,
Mark was telling me this. A battery on a LaFerrari was $16,000 and then $3,000 to install it.
Good Lord. Wow.
You want to talk about possibly the dumbest thing to charge that amount of money for? I honestly can't think of a dumber thing to have to change in a car that should be way simpler and way cheaper than that. No idea.
Wow. Well, and honestly, too, you know, I've said it, you've said, everybody said, when the Z06 came out, even when the people were paying, you know, before now you can get them under everything, but at MSRP, Chevy basically reset the paradigm of performance for price. Just straight up.
They did.
Reset button. Boop. There you go. Straight up reset button, man.
The C8 Corvette, obviously, David has a C6. I have a C7. I've owned a C5. I've owned a C6. I can tell you without a doubt, those are great cars. All of the Corvettes are great cars. But nothing has turned the automotive industry on it upside down on its head like the C8 has. The C8 Corvette has completely changed the way manufacturers are looking at their cars, because Chevy has taken the supercar game and said, yeah, we can do that stuff better and cheaper. Here it is. And the only place, someone in the comment section already addressed this too, the only place that Chevy needs a little bit of help with these cars is on the weight side. And we've already talked last week about that company CSP making lighter weight materials, so lightweight that they can take entire fenders and they'll float in water because they're that light. That's what we need next. The C9 focuses on weight, and then all of a sudden, there's nothing left to complain about. These cars are literally supercar killers for a fraction of the price.
Well, and you know, a lot of our talk on the channel obviously is this Z06 because we both own them, and now the ZR1's. How they? Let's not forget, guys, when they dropped that bomb in July of 2019 and said, "Hey, we're going to give you a mid-engine sports car with basically 500 horsepower for $59,999 price." What? That was in. Now it's going up every year, but the base Stingray is such a good car, and it comes in at $60,000.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's making people rethink how they're, you know, buying or building and manufacturing and marketing cars. So.
The Rally Roofers really hit it on the head here. It says the Z06 is the one that really made them look twice. And it is. The Stingray started it, and then the Z06 perfected it. Like the Z06 and on is really what people, I mean, literally in the last video we were talking about, I think it was Edmunds or one of the magazine publications literally couldn't find another manufacturer to run against the ZR1 because they were afraid to put their car up against it. Like, that's when you know you've won. Yep. Like, no one will even try because they know they're going to be decimated by your car that costs less to own, costs less to buy, costs less to maintenance.
Yep.
It's wild what they've done.
And again, you know, it definitely changed the Corvette cross shopping. Now you've got a lot of GT3 guys shopping. Now you've got a lot of Ferrari guys shopping. Now you've got a lot of these people that would never ever look. I mean, look. Honestly, let's look at Wildside in the comment section. Right, this dude's got Bugattis, LaFerraris, all this crazy stuff, and he owns these Corvettes. Right, that's what it did. It brought that person in who's like, wow, I appreciate what an amazing car this is, and I'm willing to give them my money for this car.
Yep,
crazy. Yeah. It was you, Drags, Charles. Yep.
Tony says, my C7 ZR1 is faster than the C8 Z06 in a 1 mile run, but bring my new 26 ZR1 home. I can feel that torque and I can't even come on to it yet. So, Tony, I will tell you this. I raced a stock Z06 whenever it first came out, Street Speed. I raced him with my C7 ZR1. And my C7 ZR1 is a manual. I beat him. And I beat him by at most half a car. If you take that same Z06 with the mods that David and I have on our C8 Z06, I bet you the C8 Z06 is now faster than the C7 ZR1. If
one day you and I need to make that happen.
I agree.
Yep.
Because I
think you're right.
I know the difference in the power of the C8 Z06 now. I know it will move on the ZR1. I know it will.
Yep. I agree with you. I think it'll be a completely different race. I think I think you flip the race completely. I think it's a half car the other way.
I agree. Yeah, it literally will flip it. Yep. So I own a C7 ZR1. I'm not necessarily thrilled about that. Now my C7 ZR1 is mostly stock. I have an exhaust and a GM Performance air intake on it. So it's not exactly a fair race per se, but I also can't tune the Z06. And, just the mods alone, it really changes the Z06 that much.
It does. And again, like I said, guys, when we can tune them and add E85, more RPM, more timing, those things is going to get crazy. But even just the closed loop is so good, you can put all those additional airflow through it, and the computer takes care of it. It's awesome.
Mark White says, when do you think the C9 first production year will be? I personally am thinking 29 or 30 for the C9, if I had to guess. I think we still have the ZR1X, which, as you guys clicked on this title, know, as of November allocation round here, where we're at the end of November, there's still been 0 allocations for the ZR1X. So that's a 26 car. 27 is very likely to be the C8 Grand Sport. 28, 29, Zora, maybe. I would imagine we're at 29 or 30 before we see any hints of the C9.
Yeah, I say 30 is when it actually drops.
It would make sense to run this car for 10 years. Number one, GM put a ridiculous amount of money into the architecture. And the C9 is going to be more like the C8 than anything else. So very similar shaped, built car with probably some slight stiffening to the frame, obviously some new options, slightly redesigned front and rear bumpers. But for the most part, you're going to be able to tell this is it's an evolution of the C8, not an entirely new Corvette. And Ricky, I would love to say that this is going to be the case. I really, really hope that GM goes this route because, like I said tonight, this is where the car lacks the most. The power's there, the looks are there, the reliability's there, performance is there. We need to drop the weight off this car. And he says he's predicting the C9 weighs about 300 to 500 pounds less, bringing back the manual. That will create even more hates from all the exotic owners. I do think we'll see a manual in the C9. Probably not the C8, but I think we will see it on the C9. And I full-heartedly agree. I hope they do start focusing on the weight on these cars. Shmi ordered, he got an X. I thought he was originally in for just a ZR1, but that was another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is that a lot of the YouTubers are getting their ZR1s. And this is actually something I'll talk to you about, David. One of the big guys getting their ZR1s just so happens to be coming to my shop down at Blackout Tinting in Miami. I'm probably going to be flying down there next week to meet him. And we're going to be doing something pretty cool on his car that's going to make it look a lot like a ZR1X Quail. You can probably figure that out. But it's a big YouTuber. He's coming to us. I'm going to have some footage of all this. But we're getting him all set up with PPF and everything on his car. So he's getting one. I don't know if I'm supposed to say who it is, so I'm just going to say he's getting one. Cletus McFarland just picked one up. Street Speed has had his for a while now. Amelia Hartford picked hers up. I think that's it. But that's 3 relatively larger YouTubers getting their ZR1. So this is, again, kind of showing these things moving in the right direction. They're pumping these cars out pretty good. These guys are getting them.
Yeah, no, Mod Fan, we can make that happen, dude. Because if you need a rock, you could raise Justin Germain for the C7 ZR1. I want to race a stock Z06 in my built C6 Z06. So we need to make that happen, man. Message me. You message me. We'll work on that.
Where are you from, Mod Fam? Is he from around here?
Northeast. I mean, he's close enough that it'd be easy for him to get to you. And then I could just get up there. You know what I mean? I'd be the outlier, but get up there. But I would definitely go up there just to make that happen. So,
yeah, Chopper, I will let you know. I'm 99% sure I'll be there early next week. So shoot me an email if you can remember, because I'm going to have so many things going on, I'll probably forget to do so. But if you want to shoot me an email, I'll definitely have you come down and check it out. Rally Roofer says he still has not got a call on a ZR1. I think you're still a little early. I think we got about 3 to 6 more months before these cars are literally sitting on lots waiting.
Well, and don't forget the plant closes for the holidays, so that's going to push everybody back too.
Yeah. Mod of Fame's in New Jersey. I'm in Pennsylvania, so if you want to make a trip, meet somewhere in the middle. I'm in the Pittsburgh area. We could definitely meet up and do some car guy craziness. So.
Well, and honestly, if it's too cold by then when it's up there, like we could pick somewhere kind of more south in between, and we can all kind of meet there. But we'll work it out. Well, I'll make sure everybody has everybody's information. So.
Yep. All right. So, like I said, guys, the news for the day here is that there's been no ZR1X allocations for the 2025 Corvette order cycle, and that's as of November 13th, the last order cycle to go through. It's looking like at this point, if there's any in December, I would be surprised. I would imagine you're not going to see these until probably January at this point, and even that might be kind of pushing it. So kind of odd that that they were so quick to mention and launch the ZR1X, but then there's no availability for it. I'm never going to pretend to understand why GM does the launch things the way that they do, but the fact that there's none available, like really blows my mind. Like, what are you guys thinking? It's freaking crazy, but
hype.
I guess. I mean, and by the time the car is actually available, though, the hype is so dead. It's like, was it even worth it?
I don't know, man. Look how long we've been talking about it. So I mean, it is some there. Like,
but. Other than that, we got Spring Mountain, Ron Fellows, the Performance Driving School is offering a limited holiday special, and it's actually a pretty good special. Get $500 off tuition, 1 free guest, 2 free nights.
Oh, wow.
Not bad. I don't think they've ever done this before. I don't recall ever seeing this before. So
I don't ever recall a sale, because usually you couldn't even get the spots fast enough half the time. So I don't ever remember a sale.
It looks like it's.
But if you guys haven't done this, and I by no means have any affiliation with Ron, but if you haven't done this and you bought a car, and if you don't, you can still go. You have to do that. That was the best money I ever spent, was going to Ron Fellows.
Yep, it will teach you things about your car that you, even if you think you know everything about it, you will come away from this class learning something about your car.
Well, it'll teach you about yourself too. Like, you're going to get to a point where you think you're fast, and you get out there and you realize you're not that fast. These instructors will humble you quick.
Yeah, they will. There's a video up of Cletus taking delivery of his C8 ZR1. He got a white spec with black and red interior, ZTK package, of course. Look at the size of that brake caliper in the front, man. Those things are insane. The clearance between the wheel and the caliper is basically non-existent. So hopefully you don't live on a road where you get any kind of like tiny rocks on a regular basis, because you will absolutely get that stuck in between there. But yeah, so like I said,
I've seen those.
Cletus took delivery, Milia taking delivery, and then there's one other bigger YouTuber taking delivery and bringing it down to my shop in Florida. So be on the lookout for those videos, guys. I'm going to have all kinds of videos interviewing, talking about the spec, showing some PPF going down on this thing, and like I said, turning it into the Quail Edition, which is basically a matte silver flare. So I'm sure you can figure out what's going on there, but it's going to be pretty cool.
I can't wait to see that. That's going to be awesome, man. Yep. That's gonna be awesome.
And speaking of,
every time I see those calipers, I think about those dang Urus calipers we saw at the Supercar Show. That's exactly what I think about every time.
Speaking of the ZR1X Quail, we got some pictures of it from Mike Furman at the auto show. Looks like he was able to grab some pictures of the ZR1X Quail Edition, which is, like I said, just a matte silver flare basically. And again, look at that wing. Even in the pictures, you could tell like that thing is disproportionately big. Like that is, it barely looks like it should even fit on that car. But yeah, that's the ZR1X, the thing you can't get, the thing that no allocations exist for. That's what it is. What's really cool, guys, is if you guys haven't seen the video yet, and actually this is something I want to talk to David about. We'll do that off the air here, but the video I put out with the cooling ducts things, they're called deflectors. I hate that word because that's so generic, but the Mid-Engine Corvette forum actually picked it up and started running with it. And this thing's up to 7 or 8 pages long now of just people talking about testing and putting these things on their cars and seeing the difference. The big thing is, if you haven't seen that video yet, guys, check it out. There's these ducts that are really included on the European spec car. And I put them on my car just to see what they would do, and noticed around a 50-degree reduction in temperatures in the engine bay. So even in my trunk, it was about 50 degrees cooler. These things, and they're just like little flimsy pieces of metal but they're GM OEM parts. And if you haven't checked that out yet, you should, because it's turning into a pretty big thread over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum. It's on Corvette Blogger. Check it out if you haven't. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, and everybody's commenting, yep. Hey, immediately after that video came out, all that shit went on back order.
Yep. And I like to say that it's a cool mod.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, that people are talking about trying to get a tire on the back of the ZR1. I know Steven ordered specific custom built wheels just to put the drag rear on the back, and it's like a one-off set. This is the only set that exists. But yeah, you're not going to find anything right now that will fit on the back of that ZR1. You have to either have something custom made or know somebody. So
yeah, Forge Light will do it. They're going to be the ones.
You just have to have somebody build you one because they don't exist right now.
They're going to be that's the wheel I'm going to put on my car whenever I get it, and
yep.
They can custom set up the bolt.
Yep. Well, there's just no off the shelf
right.
option. You just have to have somebody make you some. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
All right, so we just got one extra entry, guys. If you are interested in the giveaway for tonight, it is solar performance throttle controller for any car that they make one for. If you want to get in on it, it is every entry is $10. Or if you want to do double entries, you can do that for $50 or more. You'll get double entries. Right now we have 1, 2, 3. We got 5 entries. So I will give a shot to the members of the channel. You will get your free entry at the end of this video, as long as you are here and you can type in the secret word that I'm going to give you. But otherwise, yeah, guys, get in on this. It is a really good way to save yourself some money and get a throttle controller. One of the best mods.
That's hands down the best.
Yeah,
that's hands down the best. We were going to say at the same time, that's the best mod you can do for your car. I mean, it changes everything. It's amazing. Plus, it's a lock for your car, so nobody can steal it.
Yeah, there's security benefits. There's performance benefits. It doesn't add power to your car, but you're going to think that it did. So,
it changes the way it drives 100%.
Yep.
Yep. And your insurance may give you a discount because it's basically a kill switch. Mine did, and I have NCM insurance for mine. They did.
Yep. NCM will give you a little bit of a discount on it, assuming you're not maxed out already.
Right.
That's a great idea, Red C8. I've talked to a couple different people about possibly doing something like that, because right now I'm in the talks with somebody who might be able to custom make these things out of metal, just like GM. So if we can make that work, I'm going to actually be selling them on my website for less than what you can get them from GM for. So
I was going to ask you about that, actually. We were going to.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll have some to give away. Vader C5 for something grand, he says. I won't be the guy who gives that away, but.
And yeah, Chili Pepper for the install on those throttle controllers. If you got 10 minutes and a screwdriver, that's all you need, man.
Yep. Yeah,
it's easy peasy, and it will literally change that car. You won't even believe the difference.
The video that I did of my install most recently on the Seawolf Gray, the actual time of that video is how long it took me to do it. I didn't really cut the install much. So, and I mean, I'm relatively mechanically inclined, but you don't have to be for this. It's an electrical connector and a screwdriver, like David said. Yeah, no time at all. It's a super simple install.
And it will be the most satisfying one you've ever done, because it takes you no time at all, and you get in it and immediately you're like, yes.
Yeah, John Perkins says make them in aluminum. I'm not a big fan of the idea of 3D printing these things. I feel like there's two aspects that makes it not a good idea. One of them being heat, the other one being air force. If you have a
Right. Pushing
flimsy
against
piece
it.
of plastic and the air is coming in there hard, it's just going to push it down rather than channeling the air up in. So I think metal is the only way to go. So either OEM or I'm working with somebody who works with metal who can custom bend these things. And if he can get it to the same spec or close to OEM, the price difference would be worth it.
Well, and that's a Ricky said he accidentally put his throttle controller into weather mode. And he thought his car was broken. Dude, I was even worse. I got in my
Yeah.
C8 Z06 and went to I
Yeah,
started it,
that's
put
right.
it in gear, and went to do it, and I was like literally like nothing. And I was like, what the I was pissed. I thought I broke my car before he sent it to LMR. Then I was like,
Yeah.
oh crap.
Yeah, I guess it's not a screwdriver, it's a 10 millimeter. Well, you can
Well,
put
yeah,
it. You can
10
put a 10
millimeter.
millimeter on a screwdriver. We're
Yeah,
still
you
not
can.
we're still
Thank you,
not
Justin.
wrong. We're still not wrong.
So yes, it takes no time at all.
Mark says Justin is awesome in helping with installs on the phone. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yep.
I have no problem doing that kind of stuff, man. I've been in that same position as you. I've been there more times than I can count. So I'd like to have somebody I could lean on with that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah, and both of us message us on socials. Be like, hey, I'm doing this, and we'll get right back to you, man. I don't mind helping. Justin's cool about helping too. We bounce stuff off each other, and
Yep.
that's how it works. You know what I mean?
Yep. The big thing with my channel and with David's channel and with pretty much anybody I've ever invited on here for the most part, we're car guys. So
Right.
working on cars is no big thing for us, but it's not even just that we can work on cars. We understand cars. So whenever it comes down for certain things to be installed or certain things that break that need to be fixed, we understand them for the most part. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule, but for any of the stuff that I've done, any of the stuff that David's done, obviously we're pretty good with
Right.
mechanic stuff.
Right.
Yeah, he had his bumper off a bunch of times. That's not fun by any means, especially when you're doing it by
No.
yourself. I told you that on the phone. Like I've never taken my bumper off my car by myself, and I don't think I ever would. Like that's too much.
It's just you even need more hands because you've got the two. It's like the nuclear keys. You've got those two plugs that are just far apart. Like it's like it's just a pain in the ass. I would say just like Justin, get somebody to help you if nothing else, just to have an extra set of hands.
Yep.
You don't need an extra set of hands to get off, but
No.
boy, does it make it a lot easier.
Yep. So we got two more entries. We got Chili Pepper, Brad, and Stefan in for two entries each. So
That's mod to fame, Stefan.
That would be an adequate first mod for you.
Oh, it'd be the best one ever, bro. I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna have to check out his car. I didn't see that he had gotten a green one.
Oh yeah, you got it. Well, in his last, so he's had two pretty banging, well, three I guess now, but like banging challengers. The latest one,
I've seen some of his Challenger stuff.
1300. Well, he was the one that raced street speed when his street speed had only 1,000 horsepower,
right?
And he had 1,300 like twin turbo horsepower in his blue Challenger, and his street speed. I was like, that ain't 1,000 horsepower. I can tell you that much right now.
Ricky, this is a good point here, David. He says, I like how YouTube is letting you guys share each other's videos. I'm not missing anything from either one of you. That's exactly what I was hoping it was going to do, and I'm glad to know that that's working.
Yeah, because there was a long time there, and it's kind of a problem sometimes. It's like the notifications just don't pop up right.
Yeah.
Even if you're always watching and sharing and whatever else. But yeah, that's kind of what we want to do, is just make sure that everybody's getting all the information that we put out, and we're still building this community. Justin's a big part of it for everybody that's in this channel. That's everybody that's subscribed, for me, for everybody, and like with our time, Seawolf said we're generous with our time. I mean, you guys are the reason we do this. You guys are the reason that we're here. Why not be generous with our time? Somebody had to help us along the way, so we're here for you guys, man.
Yep, totally agree. That's what we're here to do. John Perkins is getting ready to remove his rear bumper for the exhaust. He bought an AWE. And guys, by the way, I can still get really good prices on AWE exhaust. So if any of you guys are interested in an AWE for your car, let me know. Send me an email. I can still get you really good prices pretty much any day of the week. So send me an email if you are interested in an AWE for anything. If they make it, let me know. I can get you a better price than what you'll get elsewhere.
And their stuff is so good, dude. So good.
Chopper Larry says, yeah, but why does Justin get more views on the same video?
He got 111,000 subscribers.
I was going to say, I feel like the answer to that should be relatively easy, but
yeah, that's because he's got 111,000.
That's funny. I like it. John Perkins says this is an awesome community. It really is, man. I love it, and I'm glad that we've been able to put something like this together, because like these Monday Night Lives, you'd think it would be like work, but it's not. Like I'm excited to come hang out. Like every Monday night, I'm like, all right, let's do this. Like I want to get on here and talk cars, talk Corvettes, talk news, because you guys make this as fun as it is. If it was just me and David, I mean, me and David can go crazy on a phone, but if it's just me and him every single Monday night over and over, eventually that's going to get old. But it's like, we got you guys bringing in the comedic relief. We got Maud DeFame hanging out with us. Like, this is what makes this community awesome. Like, you never know who's going to pop in.
And we talk, like, you guys don't think, literally, some of the comments, like, I have to give a shout out to Professor. You're always one of them. But we're always like, did you see that comment? That, like, we laugh about it. We talk about it. It's what we're doing right now is what we do off the phone, or offline on the phone, and when we're sitting there in person.
It's Professor Corvette and LT4 Powered possibly are the two top, like, ridiculously funny guys. And I know both of them. I met both of them in person, and you would not think that they'd be like that, but they're like really hilarious people.
Especially Professor. I have to say, like, meeting him, I was like, wow. Like, you just wouldn't think, because he is freaking hilarious, and he's just kind of reserved in person. Like, you're just like, is that really Professor Corvette?
Yeah, 10 Seconds Z06 says, speaking of the community, hit that thumbs up button, guys. 10 Seconds Z06, I mean, I can go through the list here, and I will as I see the names pop up.
Right.
10 Seconds Z06 is one of them. If he's missed a show at all, it has been very few. Seawolf Z06 is another one, on here almost every single time. Rally Roofers is on here quite a bit. Kevin Horan, almost every single show.
Yep. Darren's always here, bro.
And it's like that's how you know we've built a community, because I know your guys' real names. Like, I know most of you in person. Like, that's how you know this is a community of, like, diehard Corvette guys. We're meeting here every Monday night to talk about Corvette stuff. And I mean, of course, you could possibly win something cool.
Yeah, well, and again, too, like, the community, like you said, Justin, like, I'm meeting all these people in person. But, great idea. I can't remember who set it up here. Maybe it was Hot Rod Todd, but maybe we do start a thing where everybody sends pictures to, an email, whether it's Justin's email or we set up a separate one, and we could just be like, hey, this is, Hot Rod Todd's car. Check this out this week. We're going to show his car, and everybody can get their car featured on here. But
we actually did that early on in this. And the only reason I stopped was because at that time it wasn't as big as it is now. So I started running out of cars to feature. That is something that I plan on implementing in some way, shape, or form. I think I might do it specifically for members to begin with. And then, but I do like the idea, because a lot of the mods that people do to their cars are because they've gotten the idea from somebody else at a car show. Right. Why not do it? During the wintertime, I can't go to car shows, so let's just do an electronic version of it.
I was just going to say, we could have our own, like, weekly car show here. Like, I mean, that works. It really does. And Darren was saying how, like, keeping up with each other too, like, and not competing, but being like, hey, so-and-so got a ZR1. How cool is that? Or, like, he just said he's going to have to up the horsepower in his garage because I keep adding to mine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun that way, that we all get to enjoy each other's, joy about it. And I hope it comes across. You guys see, like, I'm still on a high from picking up my car last week. I really, truly enjoy cars, horsepower, everything. And, again, you guys feed into us, we feed into you, and it works so well. So, but yeah, car of the week.
Yeah. Vader said that he was one of the real early adopters here, watching real early on as well. He's like, yeah, we used to have car of the week. And that's what I called it, car of the week. Now, Rally Roofers here, his comment might take the cake. He says, my wife asked, are you wanting to start a movie? And I said, no, babe, it's HBO time, baby. I love it.
Comment of the night, right?
Comment of the night.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. So I'm going to give you guys another 2 minutes to jump on and throw in a donation for the Solar Performance Throttle Controller. And then we are going to get a word out there for the free entry for the members. So until then, if you guys want to get in, $10 is an entry, $50 or more is double entries.
Yeah, and that was one of the things last week that everybody said, because somebody commented in the comment section they love the new sound of the AWE for the C6. Everybody at MLMR was like, this thing sounds, and quote, sick as shit. They're like, oh my God, this thing's, I haven't reached out to, AWE yet to be like, you guys, everybody at LMR was like, what is on this car? This thing sounds insane. And when you guys see my video, you'll see, oh my God, it sounds so good. It is rowdy.
Yep. Gordon Cruz, what's up? I'm always happy to
Gordon.
see. He says, always a great and informative time here on Monday.
Yep. And Gordon's one of those like diehard guys. Like, I've called him about stuff I needed an answer on because I know he's what he does for a living. I've been like, hey man, I got a question for you, and he's there. Yeah, I can't. Good dude, man. Gordon, I appreciate it. But that's the community we're building to help each other out, not just cars, but whatever you guys need.
Absolutely. Yeah, Gordon, if you want to take a shot at a throttle controller, that's what we're giving away tonight. $10 an entry, $50 or more is double entries. Right now there is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 entries. So odds are pretty good of winning tonight. If you want to grab one for any car that they make one for, you won't regret it. If you've never tried one before, you won't regret it. Yeah, Mark says he loves his C8 AWE exhaust. He bought one for his Z06 as well. It really is.
It just sounds amazing.
It is. It's massive. I mean, it's all pros basically. The fact that it's built in the U.S. is an awesome pro. It's stainless. It's got black tips that look amazing, way better than the stock stuff. It drops some weight. It improves horsepower and it improves sound. There's literally no drawbacks.
Yeah, Darren. Actually, since I have your number and stuff, I'm going to send you one of the dyno pulls to 8,000. So you can hear it before the video goes live. You got it. Man, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All right, guys. So for the free entry for tonight, if you are a member, we're going to make the word of the night. We're going to make it DBM.
Oh, snap. In honor of my new Z06.
Yep, DBM. Throw that in there and I will get you a free entry. We're going to start setting up this wheel.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, 10 second. I got some great sound video of the Z06 at LMR. Amazing. Amazing. I've got build clips. I've got time lapse. I've got all kinds of stuff. They hooked me up. And like I said, Steven, the owner, was the guy who did the driving. He was more excited than I was. He kept saying, let's do it again. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to do it again. He's like, no, that one wasn't as good. I can do better here. I'm going to do it again.
All hail DBM.
Well, and Kevin too. Like you're going back to community, right? Like Kevin's wife's C6 Z06 needs a stock airbox rather than the one that's on it. And I was like, you can have mine as soon as LMR builds a car. And I thought they shipped them to him, but they threw it in the back of mine. I didn't even read it in the back until I got home. I was like, what the hell is this intake doing in the back here? It's like, and I was like, oh, that's mine. I was like, I gotta ship that to Kevin.
Wow, that's awesome though. Yeah, that's exactly what these what this community kind of stuff is good for. Like we can bounce stuff off each other. We can help out. And at the end of the day, it's not even just like you're helping a stranger. Like you're helping somebody who if you've never met them, you feel like you know them because you see them or talk with them every Monday night.
And it's not just them, like it's Kevin, it's his wife, it's Seawolf, it's his wife, it's Coco. What's up, Coco? It's all the people that we meet that not just them, you know what I mean? Yep. And Wildside, yeah, they're actually the day he did my ride along, you'll see in my video, he couldn't come till later in the afternoon, but the reason he was delayed was they're pouring concrete on the new building in Katy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's going up right now.
Yeah, I was watching the one video where he was talking about how long it's taking them to break ground and stuff. It's pretty wild. Yep. That's how
it's been a struggle. He was telling me all about it. Yeah, but an MGM dude, you have no idea how happy dream come true on every bit of it. I've always wanted to see, even Justin, when he had his red one, I'm like, dude, I've always wanted one of these. I've always wanted to build. I've always wanted a Centennial. And literally everything fell into my lap this year. I'm so blessed. And I can't be more happy right now. I drove the hell out of it too, because they're like, you have to break in the clutch before you really hammer it. I'm like, no problem. As soon as I got home, I pulled it off the trailer and just started driving. It's awesome.
What is the break-in at that point?
He said 500 miles, but he said it's more the heat cycling on that clutch than the actual miles. So I've just
Okay.
been doing short runs here and there, going to get, barbershop haircut, store, whatever. Anybody need anything? I'm going to the store. So, and then I did a 427 versus 426 video with my Challenger versus my C6. So that I drove the hell out of both of them for that. So it was fun.
I'm setting up the wheel now here for you guys. So
yeah, and Raleigh, please, if you ever want to bring your ZR1 or any of your cars, that goes right. Like if you guys are close enough to Atlanta, let me know. I've got plenty of room in the garage. I've got plenty of room if you need a place to stay above the garage. Come on up, man. Let's work it out on schedule. Let's have some fun. Let's do it.
all right. Well, that was relatively easy. We got pretty much all set up here. So we're going to go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna spin the wheel for you guys. So we got some free entries in here with the members. And while we're doing this, guys, if you haven't yet, smash that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel if you hit that thumbs up. Plus, one of you is going to be walking out of here tonight with near free throttle controller, because the most expensive person donated $50. So even if that person wins, these devices are still about $220. So you're still getting it for a significant discount. So let's take a look. This is what we got today. The wheel is here. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this around a little bit.
Big bucks, no whammies. Here we go.
That looks pretty good. So
I got a Challenger that needs a throttle controller now.
All right, here we go. Bam.
Here we go. Oh, it's going to be somebody with low entries.
Oh, it is. Look at oh, it's going to be Chili Pepper.
Good job, Chili Pepper.
Oh, man, with 2 entries, he wins it. All right.
I love it.
All right, Brad. Just shoot me an email with your shipping address and obviously which car. I'm pretty sure you probably want it for your C8 Z06, but let me know. Congrats, Brad. Again, guys, as always, thank you for the support. You guys are awesome as always. We will be here again, of course, next Monday night. Same time, same place. We'll see you then. But until then, stay obsessed. See ya.